Hello everyone. I believe a Spanish saying goes like, no one finds their way without having lost it several times, which is absolutely true since my sense of direction is absolutely for the bin. Well, damn. Definitely got lost. Again. But enough of me. Let's start with the show, shall we? Welcome to my little discovery tour in Spain. Today we take a look around in Malaga. Malaga was founded by seafarers around the 8th century BC. The meaning of the name of the city is still not very clear. Due to ancient times in the region, some researchers assume that the name is still derived from the Semitic root. Against this hypothesis stands the finding of some Punic coins. It suggests a different route, because on these coins there are tetrastyles, a temple with 4 columns. This picture might conjecture the name of the city in connection with the name of the god Malekard. Malekard is formed from the words milk, which means king, and card, which means city. So it might be very possible that the name of the city originates from this god. Malaga was under the rule of Carthage for a very long time, but it fell in the Second Punic War in the Roman sphere of influence, where it first was provincial Hispania Ulterior. It became a province after the provincial reform of Emperor Augustus. Since then it was known as Baetica. The migration period meant that the province of Baetica, and thus also for Malaga, changeable years of repeated change of rule. After the Visigoths and the Eastern Romans fought over, the Vandals and the Alans dominated. After the fights, in 571, the city became the belonging of the Eastern Roman province of Spania. It was around 616 that the East Romans finally handed over the city to the Visigoths. Today, the city is divided on a north-south axis by the Guadalmedina River. The old town with the most sites is east of the river. The so-called new center with the shopping malls and the main train station is on the west side. Our path leads us now to our first destination, the Malaga Cathedral, the Santa Iglesia Catedral Basilica de la Encarnación. The cathedral is located in the center near the port and is the highest cathedral in Andalusia. Originally it was a mosque, but then by 1528 the Christians remodeled it. Today it is one of the most famous buildings in Malaga. As mentioned before, it was built on the remains of a mosque built by the previous Arab rulers after the city in 1487 was conquered by the Christians. The reconstruction was only completed in the year 1782, so it took around 250 years to remodel the whole thing, which is around the time you need to wait for a service worker to fix your internet. Through the extensive period of time underlying the edification are many different styles, such as including a Baroque and a Renaissance style, flowed into the building. Gothic elements can also be seen at the facade. The main facade consists of 3 archways covered in reddish marble. In total, the cathedral has 3 naves, all of which are about 42 meters high, but have different width. The cathedral is also affectionately called La Maquita, Little Armed Lady, since 2 of the towers were originally planned, but for financial reason only 1 was built. There are also 14 bells in the 93-meter high tower. Furthermore, the cathedral has its own garden and its inner courtyard, which is surrounded by numerous orange trees. A little bit further down the street we can see the Roman theater. It is located in the mythical Malaga street, La Alcazabila, and is part of the monumental complex from Malaga, La Alcazaba. It is curious that these remains have only been recently discovered. In 1951, they were discovered doing a construction work, and in 2005, after the demolition of the one above-lying building, it was redesigned in front of the Alcazaba wall. Nowadays, since it has been restored for use, it will offer some shows inside. Let's take a look at the Alcazaba of Malaga. The Alcazaba of Malaga is historically a testimony to Arabic architecture. King Badis Maxan, ruler of the Taifa Kingdom of Granada, built the Alcazaba in the years 1036 to 1057 on the remains of the Pontifical Place complex of Alcazaba. Alcazaba actually means Spanish cathedral or fortress. Because of its fortification, it served as the residence of the Arab rulers. Its floor plan is actually pretty similar to the Alhambra of Granada. The Alcazaba, whose name Alcazaba means urban fortress. It is located on the slope of the mountain Gibraltar, in the small bay where the city of Malaga is located. The fortress was first mentioned during the epoch of the Umayyad Caliphate. From this first epoch, the ruins of the residential buildings in the entrance area of Alcazaba have been preserved. The 100 years of the Emirate of Cordoba was the time of prosperity. Malaga regained its importance as the coastal and a port city it once had in the past. The time of the Taifa kingdoms and the years 1014 are considered the beginning of the independence of the local rulers from the central power. It was an epoch of great instability in the face of the advance of the Christians. In that time, the first major construction works has been carried out, and it is assumed that the city wall was also built at that time. It was around that time that the Hammudis started building the palace area of Alcazaba, and with that it became a seat of power, the residence and the place of the rulers of the city until it was conquered by the Christians. But the most important epoch to gain knowledge about this fortress is around 1056. During this time the city was conquered and incorporated into the Taifa kingdom. During the second half of the 14th century, the city was under the rule of the Nasrid Empire of Granada. Under this rule, an epoch of stability followed. That was actually the time when Alcazaba was no longer just a fortress, but a fortified place and a seat of the city government. So the Alcazaba had political and administrative powers. It was the seat of the government and the city's hierarchies, and functioned as a small, independent medina with administrative, residential, and simultaneous defense functions. From the 18th century on, when the political forces and the military administration took over the city, the upper part of the fortress was used by the civilian population, and thus became the slums of the city. The restoration work only started in 1933 to ensure the conservation of this monument. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. Please let me know what you think about these videos in the comment section below. All sources that I used are in the info box, and if you want to follow me on social media, there are links in the description box below. Until the next time, stay safe.